Someone's asked me to explain about the house in Slacks Creek. It's very simple. The situation was that we had a small tax debt to pay. We had about $60,000 we had to pay the Australian Taxation Office. And the money was in the account, and we thought, well, I thought in particular, I'll buy something and sell it quickly and hopefully make that money. So with my parents' consent, I found a house in Slacks Creek, and it was for sale for $330,000, and I bought it for $285,000, and I paid cash for it. It sat on an acre of land, and the person who lived in there actually was the original owner from 1970 something, very early 70s. I bought it for $285,000. I rang a friend of mine who's a very hungry, motivated real estate agent, and I asked her to give me an appraisal. She came through and she said that the house is worth somewhere around $350,000, $360,000. I said, let's sell it. And I told her what I paid for it. She said, well, you've done well. Whatever we're going to get, you made a profit. So we put $390,000 and we sold it for $375,000. Now, that took place in 1 month. That's all, just 1 month. We had to clear the property. I mean, it was 1 acre of land, but the gentleman who was living there actually let it overgrow to a point that we had to, well, use a bobcat and an excavator to clear the land, and we got somewhere around 30 tonne of rubbish. We got it all out and we sold it, so we made this money. I contacted my parents. I told them, of course, that I had bought the house, sold the house and paid the tax debt. Everyone's happy. Everyone's made $1 or $2 along the way. And my father in particular said, well, can you do that again? And I said, well, I don't know. I think so, but I'll get some properties together and we'll go from there. So I put together 10 properties and I send that information down to Bondi. The 10 properties were in areas which I thought were undervalued, and each house was going to return me a great investment if left alone, and have a steady capital gain and return me reasonable rent, or good rent anyway. But all of a sudden I get this negative reaction down in Sydney, like, oh no, we don't want to do this now. Look, are you sure? And I said, well, I don't know. The last 2 properties I sold, we made a combined 1.7 million. I don't know, maybe you should tell me what you think. Maybe sitting at Bondi, in a house doing nothing is now made you an expert. So what happened was my parents, not my parents, but my mother, I'll say this. My mother said, look, I'd like to have a house on the Gold Coast. So we decided to scrap the 10 house idea, which I wasn't happy about. And I went down to the Gold Coast, and after many inspections with my wife, Kate, and we find a house in Sorrento. So we buy a 5-bedroom home on the canal, and we pay $740,000. It was by far the best house I've seen for the money. And the people were actually going through a divorce. It had to be sold. The asking price was substantially more than that. I offered $740,000. It was accepted, and that was the situation. So I give a $74,000 deposit, don't I? Because that's what you have to do, and that's what I did. Look, I'm sitting in my lawyer's office and he's asking me this question: why are the funds not available for us to settle this property? In Queensland, time is of the essence, which simply means that you need to settle within a 28-day period. Here we are being threatened that if we don't settle, we are going to be sued and I'm going to lose my deposit. I got $74,000 to risk. I had to make a choice, either lose $74,000 or take my parents to court for the release of the funds that were in their account so I can settle on this house. And that's what I had to do. For all you people that have absolutely no idea as to the truth is that I did not go out and sue my parents because it was Tuesday and I felt like suing my parents on Tuesday. I was sitting in a lawyer's office and he's telling me about the legal consequences about me not settling on a house or any property where I've given a 10% non-refundable deposit, simply that, because we went unconditional. And anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, it means unconditional means we're going to settle. And if you don't settle, you're going to keep the deposit and you're going to sue me. So here I am faced with the reality of losing $74,000 or taking my parents to court so I can get access to those funds. That's the truth. All this has been a complete nightmare, and for the last 10 years I've had to cop this rubbish about what you think happened. But the fact is that I did not go out and do something like that because I wanted to be spiteful. I trusted my parents with the $1.7 million that there was in the bank. I made that money out of the sale of my nightclub. It was in their account, okay, and all of a sudden I get told, but you know what, Ralph, we're getting $3,000 a month in interest, or $3,500 a month in interest, and we're happy with that. Go and get a job. That's exactly what was said to me, so God help me. And I just went ballistic because here I am being told to go and get a job when I've got someone sitting in Bondi in a free house doing absolutely nothing, drinking lattes and going for a camel ride once a month. It just made me absolutely mad. So I had to take my family to court to settle this. And of course, we've never recovered, have we? We've never recovered because I've had to bear this problem and keep it confidentially. And now I'm going to let everyone know of what was in front of me. This is the truth, so help me God. The money that was in the account was a sale of my nightclub that I had for 20 years. I trusted my parents with it. I told them what I was going to do. They agreed that they would put it into their name, buy and sell, and which is what we did. And all of a sudden I get told, oh yeah, this $3,500 we're getting a month, that's pretty good for us. We're keeping this. You go and get a job. That's exactly what happened to me. So I naturally go to a lawyer. We have to deal with this quickly, and the matter was resolved by having the funds released. Now, for all you people that are quick to criticise, I did buy the house in Sorrento, I did renovate it, and we did sell it. We finally finished it, and we made an absolutely spectacular job out of it. The house went from a 5-bedroom home to a 6-bedroom home. We also had a pontoon fitted in the canal, so for a person that wanted a boat. We had everything done. That house was completely stripped. The gyprock, top and bottom, flooring, bathrooms. We went from 3 bathrooms to 4, and we actually made it spectacular. We had it in a high-class property magazine on the Gold Coast, and it was advertised at $1.8 million. We sold it. We didn't get $1.8 million, but all I can tell you is this. We sold it and we made more than 3%, and that's what we did. So that's the reason why I had to take my parents to court, is because I was a director of a company that was going to get sued, and also I was going to lose $74,000. I mean, are you serious? I'm just to sit there, oh yeah, okay, I'm just going to lose $74,000 because, someone just doesn't feel like settling. We've gone to a contract, we've gone unconditional, we've got to meet our obligations, and no, just don't worry about it. I mean, that's exactly the attitude that drove me nuts. And so the rest of it is history. And maybe my brother Dominic and my sister Thomasina, my sister Rosa, can tell me, all the cash money that I sent Mum and Dad all those times, Rosa, that got me in trouble. You know that, with the Australian Taxation Office. Did you not know that? You probably. I know you know everything because Dominic and you and Thomasina. You know exactly what happened. We got audited by the Australian Taxation Office. We got fined. Of course, you were there, weren't you? You knew that we got fined. What was the fine, Dominic, Rosa, Thomasina? What was the fine from the Australian Taxation Office? And why did we get fined? What amount was it? And how did they find out? Come on, tell me. You're trying to claim this money that's in the account that belongs to me. I mean, you had no involvement in a nightclub whatsoever, and now you want to take my money. Tell the people how you made that money, Rosa. Tell the people how you made that money, Dominic. Tell the people how you made that money, Thomasina. Any of yous. None of yous. It's all right, eh? You can take someone, you can take their money. That's perfectly okay, is it? Think about what you're doing. Have some pride in yourself. It's my money. You know it. You did nothing for it. Nothing.